before we open it up for live Q&A and open discussion. So what is the difference between a 75 and a 98 as far as the scoring goes? And the difference is none. The person who got a 98 gets a score release that says 98 pass. The person who got a 75 gets a score release that says 75 pass. And the person who got a 98, their license doesn't hold any more weight than the person who got a 75. And the other thing to keep in mind is that don't assume that the person who got the 98 is smarter than the person with the 75. Part of which I mentioned earlier about having the same materials and getting totally different exams. People are taking different exams, different levels of knowledge, and some people are just good test takers. But you want to be a stellar CPA and not just a good test taker. And next question, what is something you wish you knew before you took the CPA exam? I wish I'd known that it would have required more than what my review course provided at the time. So by the time, out of my 13 exams, by the time I got around to the 9th and 10th exams, I was studying more with financial statements of real companies than I was with my course materials. Like I would download GE's annual report and look at the financials, look at the footnotes, how they accounted for certain things, contingent liabilities, looking at the layout of the auditor's report that was inside of the annual report. I remember going to Barnes & Noble and I bought all the CPA test prep books that they had. I watched a lot of CNBC once I realized that I could learn a lot of content, specifically in BEC about business cycles and supply and demand and such, just by watching that. But again, that was part of me making my studying real, because it was hard for me to leave a demanding day job, come home and take care of 2 kids, and then read a 60-page chapter. So I also looked at what I did every day in my job of running an accounting department and how that would translate to CPA exam preparation. So you really have to figure out what works for you. Remember that the blueprints are the guide to what you need to study.